Hey everyone. Last time on Folklore, I spent way too long getting the Cloak of Twilight. So what do you say we put it on and see what we got? Well, it doesn't leave much to the imagination, but funnily enough, back when I said there was no cloak that protected against wind or charm, I completely forgot that this existed. Honestly, I thought this cloak did something else, but when I first played through the game, by the time I found this one, just from running through Hell Realms so many times that I happened to stumble into all those crystals in the right order eventually, I already had the cloak from the final chapter, and once you've got that, there's no point wearing any other cloak, so I just never used this one and forgot what abilities it had. Oh well. At the very least, it is different. Instead of protecting against an element or just status effects, it's got a mix and match, and they're actually kind of useful protections. As we'll see as we start to get into some of these quests. That is the real reason we're here. And we've got the repeat quest, Voice from Below the Sea, but the girl and the robot is the new one. Yeah, so remember how all the Half-Lives were talking about Gam and G disappearing? It's a daytime quest, and our first quest in which we'll investigate why. Hey, what's Gankoner doing in the Netherworld? And even more surprising, Charlotte. I was gonna ask what she's doing in Hell Realm, but I guess it's guilt over yelling at Gam and G. Yep, we're getting a lot more philosophical. Back when I said this chapter was all about examining the nature of existence and death and the afterlife and so on, these quests are pretty much the core of that. I don't think there's any actual difference in the folks that we fight during this quest from, what we've just seen while moving around Hellrealm in the normal game, so... We get even more purple dust than usual here. It's kind of an absurdly high drop rate. Not that I mind. Having lots of purple dust is definitely good. Thank you, Humpty. That was great. I don't even know whether I even need to stop and fight all these enemies, but might as well. It's pretty much what this quest is about. You get something that'll actually hit things from a distance, even if they run away. Oh yeah. Fashan is immune to the destroy element. And in fact, pretty much every element aside from non-elemental attacks. I don't know whether that's really an element or not. But I still need to kill a bunch of folks with Baug Bulk, so might as well get that started. And I'll have to capture this guy, because can't kill him with lightning. Nah. Got bored waiting for Baug Bulk to recharge, and hit him one time too many. I think that means we're done here. Should be a healing life drop over here. There we go. And we move on to Famor. Seems kind of unusual to me to actually be fighting a mini-boss in a quest. Seems like usually they put something different in these rooms just for a bit of variety. And this is where I start to fall out of love with Skriker a little bit. I mean, it could just be that Famor has that much health, but it seems to take way too long to bring him down with Skriker, even though I'm hitting him 4 times with each attack. I don't know if maybe the wind attacks are causing him to regain his composure or something. But then I decide maybe Koropuna will do a bit more damage, and he was just at that point, got taken down in one hit. I think I need to look at the relative power of Skriker versus Koropuna. I just really don't see why Koropuna's there. It's kind of redundant. But that's all the fighting we needed to do for this quest, and now it's just a matter of... well... That doesn't change the fact that that was all the fighting we needed to do in this quest. I'm just not going to worry about Kaig right now. And there are Gam and G, waiting over there by the portal. Did I mention this is a pretty sad quest? Because it's a pretty sad quest. Yeah, I thought maybe I needed to continue going like that very first quest in the fairy realm, but no, I need to go back. No, she's not saying anything new. Let's head back and at least tell Charlotte that we found Gammon G. Oh, they found her. And they're both gone. And from what I can tell, that's a very good thing. And I think this may be what someone was thinking of when they mentioned seeing Charlotte at night. Admittedly, not the most thrilling reward, but I think the quest itself was the reward there. And I can put those cold tree nuts to use. Not that I think Ultra is going to be all that much better when it's got a stronger attack, but it's something. No new quests. I suppose I could redo the Mystery Messenger one and try to get a better score, but I think I want to see how many nighttime quests there are before I go devoting any time to it right now. Yeah, alright, we're getting on that. Yep, there's a bunch of quests, and they're all new. So we'll take them in order. And hey, we get to look into Lulu's disappearance. I think it's kind of interesting that, one thing I thought of when I first saw the ending of Chapter 4 for Ellen was that, O'Connell was probably wrong, and that wasn't actually Lulu's mummy in the Divine Sanctuary. But in this quest, we get confirmation that it was. It just sort of struck me as the sort of thing that they're making accusations and speculations and just assuming stuff that wasn't necessarily true. And nobody in the thread ever said, oh, hey, maybe that's not true. But there I am trying to capture a Candela, but I accidentally activated 2 of them at once, and the other one attacked me. And so I missed my window and didn't manage to pull off the capture. But I was very lucky at this time, and I got 2 purple stones out of the deal. Can't complain about that. I also managed to remember the way through the corridor. Although, for this quest, there is the Habitraut that you can follow. Endless corridor quests are always kind of weird when it comes to how you find your way through. Sometimes they don't have the Habitraut if there's a different mixture of folks at all. They'll give you some other marker. I slowed things back down here, even though it's exactly the same room full of Berlachen that we've seen before, because this time I'm actually going to be using Moralta Vegalta for a while. Like I said, this has one of the most interesting and dynamic attacks of all the folks you're going to capture. It's got a spinning attack first, which is Wind Elemental, and then it charges forward with a Thunder Element attack. If you position yourself just right, you can hit your target with both attacks, but it's tough to do. Generally, the wind attack will push them out of the way so that the thunder attack misses, as you can see. But it's also pretty handy if you've got folks surrounding you and something at a distance that you want to hit, because I don't think there are very many attacks that have both an area effect and range on them. As a matter of fact, I found some interesting uses for Moralta Vegalta fighting both a Balewind and a Balgbulk at the same time. I could target Balewind, stand next to Balgbulk, and when I use this attack, I'd hit them both with the elements that they're weak to. I thought it was pretty neat. But I don't remember at what point I actually did that. Might be in the grinding video, but I doubt it. Probably during the quest for the Cloak of Twilight, so I didn't keep the footage in the LP. So a green ore over in the corner. Better go grab that. And we've unlocked another Karma. Now I just need to fight 3 Lujag, which is not going to happen for a while. As for Ellen, they only live in the dead ends of the Endless Corridor. And I don't plan to go into any dead ends unless I have to. And I also needed to save something for the grinding video. I'm actually using Ultra here. As you might be able to tell, despite the fact that it's sped up so much you can hardly see it, it's not great. The water bubble moves so slowly, and I don't think it covers any more space than Peg Powler's attack, which goes off immediately and can hit multiple things. Ultra's attack just kind of stops as soon as it hits one thing. So finally, we've got another Karma for Balgbulk. I think it's completely built up at this point. Might need to capture more. Yeah, I need to capture a couple more of them, and then I need to defeat 10 Hawk. Probably not going to happen anytime soon. Definitely not in this quest. So now I start killing things with Bellwind. It's an effective attack, but it has issues hitting enemies that are close to walls. Which is why I'm happy that this is a nice wide open space. And we finally get to the mini-boss room. There's no Habitraut to fight here, it's just a single gate that's already open. Pretty sure this is the final one, which would have led on to Fleshroom. But for this quest, we're not fighting Fleshroom. So keep in mind, digging for facts is bad. Well, this is an unexpected visit. And we finally finished the Endless Corridor picture book. I really don't know what to think about the end of that quest, or any of the theories that came up during it. So let's check out this new page. Shows using Peg Powler against Skriker. We already figured that out. So we'll see you next time for the next couple of quests.